dust off the moon. Don't yawn and prolong what you got to do. And if you've been going through any negative phase, well, here's your opportunity for turning the page. Today's a new chapter. Write your plot and make it end with the win. Give it all you got. But first, you gotta rise, look alert and alive. Get the dirt from your eyes and work for the prize. It's on, cause we ain't even trying to lose. Let's go, man. Don't hit snooze. It's time to wake up. 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 Tick tock, tick, come on. Tick tock, tick, let's go. Tick tock, tick, come on. Tick tock, tick. You can't wait around for someone's approval. Now is the moment to begin your renewal, man. Feel alive with the vibe, energize of the folks who you're coming by the white in your eyes. Hey, another day might waste away. Come on, let's get it going. Don't make delays. So bring me along and lift your arm high. Like Georgia, we can get a piece of the pie. Begin it with the step. You'll get in it in a sec. You'll be winning like you never did it when you overslept. So right this minute, get right with it. What time is it? It's time to wake up.
Good morning, Birmingham. This is a regular meeting of the Birmingham City Council. Today is Tuesday, October 15th. This morning, our invocation will be delivered by Pastor Doug Taylor, Senior Pastor of Rebirth Christian Fellowship, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Counselor Hunter Williams. If you're willing and able, please stand.
To bring wisdom and strategy and unity to this great city. Father, we pray today that you'll continue to bless the city of Birmingham, bless its leaders, bless its residents, Father, bless the mission and the vision. We ask today that as the city council convenes, that you'll be here. You said in your word, will 2 or 3 be gathered together in your name, you be in the midst. So thank you for being here. And so we just pray today that the ideas, the plans, the strategies that you send forth, that they be met with favor, with clarity, wisdom. Father, bless our mayor and bless his team and bless all of these incredible city council leaders, Father. And we just pray right now that your hand be on our city to bring wholeness, bring peace, bring protection, and bring us into a future that only you can perform. In Jesus' name, amen. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Mr. Clerk. Could we please have the roll call?
Okay, Councilmember Abbott. Councilmember Clark. Councilmember Moore. Councilmember Smitherman. Good morning. Councilmember Tate. Good morning. Councilmember Williams. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Councilmember Woods. Good morning. Council President Pro Tem Alexander.
Good morning, President.
Council President O'Quinn.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Council, at this time, the minutes for the September 3rd through October 8th, 2024 council meetings are not ready. At this time, we'll have communications from Mayor Woodfin.
Good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Good morning, everybody. Mr. President, it's good to see you this morning. Council, it's good to see you as well. And to the public, good morning to you as well. Mr. President, Council, I have 2 notes. One is that at this time I would like to call Sheriff Petway and Chief Thurman up. I think Chief Thurman may be in the hallway, but if Chief Thurman can come up with the sheriff. I think. So often, Council, we talk about partnerships, but one of the things I wanted to be very intentional about this morning is displaying partnership publicly to you as well as to our community. We've often talked about crime, and we've talked about crime-fighting strategies, and we've talked about a litany of things related to how to reduce crime in the city. We believe one of the best ways to do that is through partnerships. I wanted to publicly express my appreciation as well as publicly thank Sheriff Petway. I asked him to be here this morning because I think it's important to highlight some of the things they've allowed us to be successful in, whether it's high-level crime reduction related to violent criminals off our streets, whether it's events as far as between the World Games or even the Classic coming up. But my favorite, and I can tell you we would not have had the success without them, is Operation Night Rider. Each of you individually complain about exhibition driving in your districts. Citywide residents complain to all of us about exhibition driving. We've talked about Operation Night Rider and its success, but you need to know that the sheriff's office has played a pivotal role in that operation. But that's just highlighting one example. There have been many operations throughout my tenure. And since Sheriff and I have both been elected serving, the sheriff has been intentional about saying that all of Jefferson County, including the city limits of Birmingham, the sheriff's office represents. And so I just wanted to pause and allow the chief to say anything he wants to say, and definitely allow the sheriff to come up and say anything he would like to say. But I wanted to give him his flowers and sincerely express my appreciation for the partnership, relationship, and literally boots on the ground that the sheriff office deploys within our city in partnership to help us literally go after criminals, reduce crime, and make sure that we're doing this together. Chief.
So good morning. So the Birmingham Police Department couldn't be as successful as it wasn't for our relationships with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. They're always there for us. Sheriff Petway's always there for us, and just tremendous partner, probably one of our biggest partners, if not the biggest partner that we have in law enforcement fighting crime in our area. And so just tremendous kudos to you, Sheriff, and to your team. So we just can't thank you enough for all that you do every day, and you're always there for us, and you're always just a phone call away. So thank you.
Mayor, President, Council, citizens of Birmingham, I'm Sheriff Petway. We're delighted to be here to show that there is strength in unity. When we work together, we can do more together than divided. So we have a heart to make sure that Birmingham is always successful. My top priority is to make sure that every city within this county is safe. So Birmingham, so goes Birmingham, so goes the county. So we want you to know that we stand right here with you, Birmingham, with all our resources from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office to make sure that we work together as a partner, to make sure all the citizens here in the city of Birmingham, as well as Jefferson County, are safe. So I am thankful for the mayor to invite me here this morning. I am thankful for the cooperation I have with the chief and the city of Birmingham Police Department. And together, we can do more to make this city safer. Thank you, and God bless.
So I have another note, Mr. President, that I want to share with you. Council, I want to share with you and the public as well. We've been given a mandate for quite some time to continue to address gun violence within our city. And you all have continued to not only support measures, but through your own leader of the Public Safety Commission, Councilor Tate, you all continue to be in the trenches coming up with ideas, solutions, and suggestions on how to address additional crime in our city. So some of those things include, as you know, adopting the police recruitment and retention plan. Again, thank you for that. The other, as recent as last week, Councilor Tate and Uche Bean leading community safety initiatives from best practices modeled nationwide. Enhancing on top of what we've done with existing programs that include almost already $7 million, addressing it from a public health perspective. And as we continue to talk with decision makers in our city, I think it's important that we add some community members that can do a community-led effort that doesn't necessarily include the executive branch or the local branch of government that's leading the effort. As Councilor Tate has consistently said, and some of you all have shared, echoed her sentiments, it's not just a police problem, it's not just a city hall problem, it's going to take all of us. So having that community buy-in is extremely important in addressing this issue. Council, I want you to know over the last few months, I've had the opportunity to meet with all community sector groups, corporate leaders, small business owners, met with faith leaders and various other leaders, including on the spectrum of law enforcement, which goes well beyond policing, to include the DA's office, as well as our criminal judges within Jefferson County. And so I think Tate's words, words like unity, it can't just be a word, it has to be action. Coalition can't just be a word, it has to be an action. We want to add an additional tool, if you would, today. And today we are honored to announce a community-led crime commission. This crime commission, again, is made up of business leaders, nonprofit leaders, faith leaders, leaders in our health perspective, as well as criminal justice communities. Again, this is a community-led initiative. At this time, I want everybody to come on up. As they approach, and I'll be sure to give their name in a minute, all of those community-led leaders are not present, but a handful of them are, who I want to introduce in a minute. First, I want to say this, this local-led effort, this crime commission, will be led and co-chaired by Ralph Williams, Jr., who is the Vice President of Alabama Power's Birmingham Division, as well as co-chaired by Lee Steislinger III, who is the co-chairman of Altech Incorporated. As you see standing here with me, former Birmingham Police Chief and retired Lieutenant General, I'll just call him General if he'll allow me, General A.C. Roper will serve in as an advisory role. Again, not all inclusive, you see standing here, but they will be joined by 19 other community members and leaders, including the Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr, Jefferson County Health Officer David Hicks, who many of us work with, Jefferson County Circuit Judges Michael Streety and Shantae Owens. Please recall that Judge Streety leads the criminal division of Jefferson County. I want to give you a little bit of what the commission's focus is. It is literally narrowly tailored to how do we reduce homicides. Again, that doesn't take away from what the chairwoman of public safety does. Doesn't take away the work currently from our police department. As you see, none of these people are Birmingham BPD. It doesn't take away from any of the current work. What it seeks to do is enhance what's already being done and continue to look up under the hood for ideas, best practices, etc. But the commission's focus is to quickly assemble information on strategies that have been done in other areas, places to reduce crime, especially homicides. And then I want to tell you about time. The goal is to have an initial report presented back to me within the next 60 days. So this is what we call a supercharge. The commission's work, because I know that would be a question as well, will be funded by private resources. Again, the commission's work will be funded by private resources. So the work these volunteers do, they're leading outside of City Hall. There will be no city funding for their work. I do want to state that the Birmingham Police Foundation will play a very, very important role and a key partner in supporting the commission's fact-finding, as well as in implementing its recommendations. And then from a historical standpoint, recall, if you will, this mirrors a successful effort initiated in Birmingham during the 1990s, when then Mayor Richard Arrington appointed a commission to address a surge in crime. So using, as Tate knows, other cities as models, the 1990s commission provided a number of short-term as well as long-term recommendations to improve then police operations, or refocus on resources and improving community relations. Turns out those strategies then led to a decrease in crime. So to give some more information on the people you see standing in front of you, council, in addition to Ralph Williams and Lee Steichlinger and District Attorney Carr, Dr. Hicks, Judge Streeting, and Judge Owens, other commission members include here with us Dr. Tracy Moran Adams, who is Senior Executive Vice President at Renaissance Bank. Here with us is also Cardinal Howell, Senior Managing Director at Howell Consulting. Here with us, Bo Walters, President of Don Construction. Also here with us, Chris Anderson, Chief of Police, Talladega College, and former Birmingham Police Detective that many of you all know. Here with us is also Patrick Davis, Special Agent in Charge at U.S. Secret Service Birmingham Field Office. Here with us is also Dr. Thomas Beavers, pastor at New Rising Star Church. And here with us also is Chris Nano, CEO of the Community Foundation of Greater Birmingham. Those who cannot be with us today include Lee Steichlinger III, Leroy Abrams, Executive Vice President at Regions Bank, Jamie McMahon, Chair of Legion Industries, as well as Monique Greer, Director of Jefferson County Youth Detention Center, Frank Bearfield, who you all know, Chair of Crime Stoppers of Metro Alabama, and an important partner at UAB, Dr. Jeff Kirby, Director of UAB's Division of Trauma and Acute Care Surgery. And forgive me, also present with us, and last but definitely not least, Arne Odoms, Communications Manager at Birmingham Promise. In closing, Mr. President and Council, I think we look forward to the work these volunteers who already lead in our community will do and present back to us. I want to express my sincere gratitude for them being willing to participate in this effort. We are presented with the challenge of homicides that have increased, while all other crime categories have drastically decreased. But we're also presented with the mandate to solve it, and I believe that all of us rowing together, faith leaders, community leaders, corporate leaders, small business owners, and law enforcement on the spectrum, as well as all of us, elected officials, legislative branch of government, being you all, mayor's office, all of us rowing together, united, I'm confident we'll continue to be on the solutions end of addressing this issue. So with that, Mr. President and Council, that concludes the mayor's report, unless you all have any questions.
Councilor Smitherman.
Just very quickly, thank you, Mayor Woodfin. I think this is a really great effort because, you know, we have to have all hands on deck when it comes to crime. The 10 of us aren't experts at this, but you guys see this in different categories, whether it's Pastor Beavers in the community, Chief Roper, you know I love you. I was just telling my mom, as a teenager, I knew who my police chief was, and I think that really mattered. I remember the efforts you made to try to get to people my age at the time and your community efforts. I was actually really sad to see you go. So knowing that you're in an advisory role, I would feel very comfortable about the commission. Bo Walters, you know, you have a heart for the community and for God as my Birmingham leadership classmate. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what kind of report we'll have. And, you know, I'm in prayer that I think all the efforts that you're doing, Councilor Tate, Uche Bean, will come to fruition and that we'll be able to resolve this crime. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. President, Council, thank you so much for your time this morning. That concludes the mayor's report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, at this time, do we have any nominations to boards and agencies? Okay, thank you. I'll read our statement on conduct of business. All items designated as consent are routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. All items on the consent agenda will be announced by reading the item numbers only. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member or the mayor requests the item be removed from the consent agenda. Additionally, a citizen interested in addressing the council with respect to an item on the consent agenda as designated for public hearing may request the item be removed from the consent agenda to hold the hearing on the item. Any items removed from the consent agenda will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. For remaining matters, all matters of permanent operation will be read and all public hearings will be announced. Mr. Clerk, could we please go through our consent agenda items?
Okay, the consent agenda starts on page 2 with items 3 and 4. On page 3, we have items 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 on consent, 5, 6, 7, and 8. On page 4, we have items 9, 10, and 11 on consent. Page 5, we have items 12 and 13 on consent. On item 12, there's some revisions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth line down, please strike Alabama Industrial Road and Bridge Program. And also, fourth line from the bottom, strike 11 and make that 5 bridges instead of 11 bridges. From the bottom, 1, 2, 3, fourth line up, strike 11 bridges and make that 5 bridges. And then the fifth line down from the top, strike Alabama Industrial Road and Bridge Program. Just strike through that whole entire entry. We pick back up with the consent agenda on page 6 with items 15, 16, 17, and 18. Page 7, we have items 19, 20, 21, and 22 on consent. On page 8, we have items 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27 on consent. And we have one addendum item.
Okay.
And that should be the end of the consent.
All right. Do any members of the council wish to add or remove an item from the consent agenda?
The addendum item 29, we're really just correcting a name, so can we add that to consent?
Okay.
Is that good with y'all?
Yeah, we can do that.
We already voted it up.
All right. Counselor Smithman,
Can we take item 12 off consent?
item 12.
Thank you.
All right. Counselor Abbott.
I really don't want to take it off the agenda, but on page 7, item 19, I just wanted to ask who these 30 new hybrid LE vehicles are for.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
there'll be a mix between finance and BPD.
Finance and BBD.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to see us getting some hybrids. I like mine. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. That item can remain on consent?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have 8 items, items 1 through 8 that are public hearing items. Also, we have an addendum item that is a public hearing item, item 29. Do any members of the public wish to remove any of those items from the consent agenda? All right, hearing none. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
Move the items for consent. Second.
Okay,
All right, we're ready for the vote.
all right. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, the consent agenda is approved. Item 1, please.
All right, item 1. Item 1, appeal hearing of Martin Emmett, managing member of New Car Wash LLC, on the denial of inspections of an automated car wash facility to be located at $30 Car Wash, 100 Resource Center Parkway, Birmingham, Alabama, 35242, in accordance with the ordinance number 24-15 adopted by the council on March the 5th, 2024.
Second.
It's neutral right now, so until we make a decision.
Okay. All right. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ashley Huguenon, and I'm an attorney with Baker Donaldson. And I'm joined here today with Martin Emmett, president of Dirty Dogs Car Wash. And before I get into a formal appeal, I would like Martin to come up and give a little bit of background information about himself and about the car wash.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Martin Emmett. I am, it's glad to be back home. I've spent many of my summers here growing up. Both set parents and grandparents were native Birminghamians. Also went to Cumberland School of Law. Started this business in 2018. Oh, there we go. Is that better? Mm-hmm. Okay. Started this business in 2018 with the intent of starting a business with a purpose. It's owned and operated by my wife and I, and we're really excited about this opportunity to come to, pardon me, excuse me, too much coffee this morning. Really excited about this opportunity to come back and open up this business in Birmingham.
Can everyone hear me? Yes. We are here today to appeal a decision to deny inspections requested for New Car Wash LLC for a car wash that would be located at 100 Resource Center Parkway in the city of Birmingham, Alabama, on the basis of Birmingham Ordinance number 2415 adopted in March 2024. The project is going to be located in the former location of Logan's Restaurant, which closed back in February of 2020 and has been vacant since. At the time the ordinance was adopted, the applicant had submitted plans to the city of Birmingham for review and approval, specifically civil plans on July of 2023, building plans on October of 2023. The city of Birmingham had issued permits for construction, the civil construction permit on October 20th, 2023, and the building permit on January 2nd, 2024. Demolition of the project commenced in December of 2023, and then construction of the car wash building started in January 2024. When the civil permit was issued on the basis of the work description consisting of a demolition of an existing restaurant, parking, and associated infrastructure, and the construction of an 820 square foot car wash with vacuum stalls and associated infrastructure. Based on correspondence we had with Erica Brooks, the applicant was advised and relied on in proceeding with the project that car washes weren't allowed use under the prior zoning ordinance, so long as certain conditions were met, which we had satisfied. The city conducted numerous inspections of the project between March of 2024 and all the way up through September of 2024. And at the time the inspections were denied earlier this month, we were at 85% completion with the project. The total capital investment for the project is $5.1 million. It is our understanding and reading of the car wash moratorium that is intended to apply to new or expanded uses or facilities that would be constructed and not to facilities that are already under construction. We're excited about this project and we believe it'll be a great addition to the city, along with the 35 to 45 jobs that are being created. And we hope today we'll have a motion will be made that will allow the project to continue as scheduled, allow final inspections on the project to continue without interruption, allow the issuance of a certificate of occupancy and business license upon completion of construction, and allow the project to open next month and operate outside of the car wash moratorium. And just and hopefully this can be seen, but this is where we were in March of 2024. We had already demolished the existing restaurant. We had established our framework for the construction of the building. And this is where we are today. And we're hoping to open next month. And did you want to mention about the car washes for the responders?
Sure. So one of the original programs we started back in 2018, when I just kind of spoke about the Business with a Purpose, we initiated what we call the Helping Heroes program. And what we do this is well documented, it's kind of part of our DNA of Business with a Purpose. We have washed 14,000 responders' cars across our footprint states, which are Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. We have a sister location about an hour and a half from here in Oxford, Alabama, where we have a really good relationship with police, fire, other force responders. We've kind of expanded this program to now reach out to animal shelters and teachers and other folks that we feel that are kind of underserved and underappreciated. So this location will as well be a part of that program. We've already started. About 2 weeks ago, we had our first Helping Heroes event at the Pirate Station. It's about a quarter of a mile down the street on the right-hand side, north of our site. So we've kind of already started to do these things in lieu of kind of the situation that we're in presently right now. I'm happy to answer any questions as relates to that as well.
Thank you.
Any members of the council have questions? Councilor Clark.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have any questions, but, you know, I agree with the moratorium we passed. I feel like the intent of it was not to disrupt projects that were this far along. I'm a little surprised that it had that impact, so. But it seems like it is in our discretion to make a determination today if they can complete uninterrupted. So just wanted to make that comment. I am concerned about the proliferation of them, and I believe that, you know, our intent was to slow or maybe halt the proliferation until we could get some more rules in place. But
Before you ask a question, I have a question. So I just want to be sure with PEP, I suppose, that we don't have any projects or other capital improvements or rezoning or anything in the area that would be relevant to this project? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, Councilor Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was going to just say that I agree with my colleague, Ms. Clark, on also I'm concerned about the unusually rapid proliferation of car washes throughout Birmingham, and I hope that we can find some sort of common ground. But like you said, this seems to have been well underway when we considered and then passed and repassed a moratorium. This also is in my district, and I'm familiar with where it is. Thank you for your investment into the city of Birmingham. I appreciate it. I think we're ready to vote.
Likewise, thank you for thinking of our first responders and other folks and showing them some appreciation. That's, you know, thoughtful. And
Absolutely, it's more to come.
all right, Councilor Abbott.
I probably shouldn't ask this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. We performed inspections from March of 24 to September of 24, and then we stopped.
Yes,
and
ma'am,
I'm
that's
trying
correct.
to understand why we would continue with the inspections and then suddenly stop.
With the risk of being a little bit cheeky, that is the million-dollar question. I totally agree with you. We have no understanding as to why this occurred. We were placidly aware of the moratorium when it came about, but we continued throughout the process, calling out inspections as they were required throughout the construction process, and didn't hear any murmur of any type of disruption coming down the pipe until literally 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday when we called for an electrical inspection. That's the first time we were alerted to the fact that no further inspections could take place until we filed an appeal.
So, can someone in the administration answer my question? Do we have people here who know the answer?
Chief Mitchell is coming up now, Councilor Abbott. We'll walk down and get staff right now, Councilor Abbott.
Because I'm certainly in agreement with my colleagues that have spoken that the purpose of the moratorium was to stop the amazing proliferation that was suddenly coming up. But certainly if we've already granted all those permits and the building is finished, I'm wanting to get my arms around it so this doesn't happen to us again. And there may not be any more that are like almost complete. But, you know, I hate that you're here. You're very nice people and it's good to see you, but I mean, you know, it's like,
Certainly.
why? And so I would like to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Okay.
Mr. President, Councilor Abbott, if we could either lay this on the table or we can provide you with a report. Staff is walking this information down for you now. We don't want to delay the council meeting. I know the councilor has questions, so we'll get that information for you, Council President, Councilor Abbott.
Ms. Abbott, I think that I would like to have somewhat of a report, because I'd also like to know if there are any other car washes that are in the middle of construction / inspection, just so that there's visibility on that to the council, which will take more time than someone running up the stairs or down wherever they're coming from.
I'm surprised no one anticipated that we might wonder about this. But, you know, it's Monday morning. I didn't get to sleep till 5 a.m. And I may be asking questions, well, whatever day it is. You know, so maybe it's just me, but I would have contemplated that someone might ask. And I know y'all want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes. So, do y'all want to table, or do we?
Yeah, just for clarification, since this is a public hearing, you know, the purpose of the moratorium is a temporary halt on new construction, as was stated. And so, you know, we do expect to work with our planning and zoning department to amend the zoning code such that it minimizes the impact of these types of facilities on surrounding properties, because they are somewhat unique in their because of noise and other considerations that happen. You know, this case is different in that construction was started prior to the moratorium, and it's also located in a portion of the city that is suitably designed for this type of operation. And there's no residential immediately adjacent or really, you know, anywhere near it. And a lot of the surrounding uses are very similar as well. So I think we're inclined to entertain a motion to grant the appeal.
Second.
Right. Yeah, so at this time, if there are any members of the public who wish to speak to this matter, we'll make time for you to do so. I don't see any, and so I think we're ready to vote on the motion.
But now our answer's coming.
Yes.
down the stairs?
Okay. Do we want to table?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
again, it depends on the information. I think Councilor Williams stated that a more robust report would probably require more time than this meeting would allow, so it just depends on the degree of answer that the council would like.
Well,
Counselor Abbott?
I don't want to hold this up any longer than it's been held, but I do want an answer, and I don't want it to happen again, because this is embarrassing. And we just need to fix it.
Sure. So, Chiefs, Chief Mitchell, go
We'll
ahead.
agree. We'll provide a detailed report of what happened during the inspectionary period. I believe it was because of the two different moratoriums. I think staff was trying to just work in good faith. But we're confirming, we think this is the last one, so we should be good, but we'll confirm and provide a report.
Okay, yeah, if that could be done in a memorandum format to all council members, we'd appreciate it. All right,
Thank you.
now we're ready.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, that appeal is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item 2, please.
Item 2, an ordinance to further amend the City of Birmingham zoning ordinance, ordinance number 15-133 as amended. Case number ZAC 2024-5 to change existing zoning regulations to Title I zoning ordinance, Chapter 7, signs filed by the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits, hearing of all interested parties. Motion, please. Items before you.
All right, this is a zoning item, so Counselor Abbott?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Gambrell, would you read our case for us?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tim Gambrell. I serve as the chief planner for the city of Birmingham. And this is case ZAC 2024-5. It's an ordinance that affects the city, the entire city. An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance, Title I, Chapter 7 signs, filed by the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits. The proposed amendments expands provisions for attached signs to include canopies and awnings, expands definitions for clarity. It expands provisions for monument signs to include reduction in size of monument signs in certain districts, expands provisions for small blade and vertical signs, and it creates provisions for historic directory and cornice signs. It also clarifies provisions for temporary prohibited and exempt signs, and finally, it clarifies provisions for sign maintenance. At its regular scheduled meeting on July 2nd, 2024, the Zoning Advisory Committee voted to recommend approval of this ordinance amendment. And at its regular scheduled meeting on August 28, 2024, the Planning and Zoning Committee voted to recommend approval of this ordinance amendment. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Gambrell. I'm sure that Mr. Gambrell will agree that the council committee got deep into the weeds on this ordinance. And, but I think we made some good improvements.
I would agree.
And so the committee does recommend approval after our deep into the weeds efforts. Does anybody on the council have any questions about any of the changes that were made or the changes that weren't made?
Do you mind, just in real plain terms, for someone that's not a zoning expert like yourself, do you mind just explaining real quick what changes y'all wanted?
Well.
Is it what was blue or redlined or?
Okay, well, it's very confusing because every department seems to use something different, but the underlined items are added and the lined through items are removed. And they're not nearly as many lined through as there are added because there are additional types of signs that are included in the ordinance now that I don't think were there before. The marquee signs and the roof signs and small and, vertical blade signs. I mean, we've got signs that you have to sit and think about it to determine exactly what they are. And we asked for pictures so that we would understand what we were approving. And so It's basically trying to get our sign ordinance to provide signs that are good in appearance and perform their task without having a clutter of signs all over everywhere. And we included in here how to remove signs, maybe of businesses that have gone out of business, but they left their sign and it slowly decays and rusts and pieces of it fall off. I can think about one that I see on the interstate every week, and I've been looking at it for the last 10 or 15 years. And the letters have slowly fallen off. And I think it says something funny now, because the letters have fallen off the sign. So this gives the city an option of how to get rid of things like that before they hurt somebody.
Okay, great, thank you. Question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mrs. Abbott, for giving us, just from the vantage point of the committee, what all of this, the different colors and everything mean to us. I do have a question about the scenic corridor on page 5.
Okay.
And just had a question. I often have residents in that particular area. One of those that's listed is in D7, is Lakeshore Parkway. And so what is the signage rule for that particular area? Are we saying we allow it in certain situations, or what is the guidance?
Yeah, so the scenic corridor sets up locations where certain types of signs would not be allowed, particularly pole signs. And so it creates a situation where pole signs are not allowed by the ordinance. But Lakeshore, of course, also has Oxmoor design guidelines. And so they inform, how signs can be constructed in Oxmoor. And actually, some of the requirements that are in the new sign ordinance mirror what we do in Oxmoor. We decided, and we felt like that the standard that we used in Oxmoor was more intuitive, it was easier to use, easier to understand, and provided a good quality of product. And so we actually utilized those guidelines to help craft this new ordinance.
Perfect, because we do have one business that sort of play a game. They bring the sign out towards the weekend, and then it goes away. So that's something we could talk about later. But that neighborhood just does have a very hard time with that particular one spot. So,
Okay.
But I'm just glad to see that there's something I can reference them back to an ordinance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And if I might add, the scenic corridors, when we worked on the billboard ordinance, and that was before I was on the council, one of the concerns was we have some roadways in Birmingham that are considered scenic corridors by the people who live around them, and that they needed special treatment to not become cluttered with litter on a stick. So it's important for our city to look good. Yes.
I think one of the areas where the good intentions may have had some unintended consequences is that part of Lakeshore where, let's say, the Sam's Shopping Center, but you go on down across from the Lowe's, none of those signs are visible for those businesses. I always,
That's not Birmingham.
I think it is.
No,
Is it
one
not?
end, the end where the
Part of it
movie
is, but
theater.
what
the
you're
movie-
describing is
Like where
not.
Windsong, the movies.
The movie theater on down, the current movie theater, the Lux Theater, that is D7. But where the old Windsong was, further
That's
down,
Homewood?
that's Homewood.
Okay.
Birmingham ends at John Carroll High School.
That's about where the boundary is, John Carroll.
Okay.
There's a common street that runs just across the lakeshore that runs down to Lux. That's all in the city there.
Okay. All right.
We'll have to talk to Homewood.
No, I'm good. I know what's back there. I've kind of felt it out. But I thought that end was in Birmingham and subject to the same sign ordinance.
No, ma'am.
I think we're ready to vote. Oh, wait, Counselor Woods. I missed him.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Another rousing scenic corridor question, but just like in the code, where is I mean, it defines it, but where in the code does it basically tell you what these corridors are subject to?
Yeah, so the scenic corridor is identified as an area of special aesthetic concern. And so there's a definition for that includes scenic corridors, includes historic districts, other districts in the city that we consider to be significant assets. And so, yeah, there's a definition here for areas of aesthetic concern. And that's kind of how we govern that rule.
Right, but I mean, what does that allow you? Like, what are the requirements? What is allowed? What's not allowed?
The main emphasis of that, or impetus of that, is that no pole signs are allowed. So we kind of feel like downtown in particular, pole signs don't fit, the urban environment. Likewise on scenic corridors or historic districts, we don't want to see a proliferation of pole signs. They just block view and things like that.
Where is that in the code? Like,
Well, so the pole sign section would tell you where they're allowed and where they're not.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, so section 7 is the definition of pole signs. And so they're allowed in certain districts, C2, I1, I2. And then it says they're prohibited. No new pole signs are permitted in areas of special aesthetic concern as defined by the ordinance. And that's under section 7, pole signs.
okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Anybody else? Now, I think we're ready to vote. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anyone in the audience who has any questions or comments about the new sign ordinance changes? Seeing no one, now we're ready to vote. Third time's a charm.
All right,
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
all right. That item is passed. Next item, please.
Item 12, a resolution authorizing the mayor to apply for a grant, execute and deliver an agreement and all required documents to the United States Department of Transportation for the fiscal year 23 to 26 Bridge Investment Program Planning and Bridge Grant for Bridge Projects, Alabama Industrial Road and Bridge Program, and accept grant fund disbursement to the city of Birmingham for the purpose of repairing or replacing 11 bridges across the city. I'm sorry, it should be 5. And then we're going to strike Alabama Industrial Road and Bridge Program, of course, again. And the city funding request is $5 million with $1 million match required from the city. Motion on the item, please.
Second.
Okay, the item is before you.
All right, is there any discussion on this item?
Mr. President, I just wanted some information about, we had a good presentation to Budget and Finance yesterday, and so even though we got the information, I just want the public to know.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
Colin Alexander, BDOT will come in and give a presentation. Also, I shared an email this morning that outlined what bridges are in the grant and all the bridges in Birmingham.
Good morning to the council. My name is Colin Alexander. I serve as program manager for the Birmingham Department of Transportation. And before you is a grant resolution for a grant application. We are applying to the U.S. Department of Transportation for a bridge improvement program grant. This is one of 2 pots of money this program has. This pot is for smaller projects between $2 and $50 million. So we're applying for $5 million total, $4 million federal, $1 million local match. And we will be repairing or replacing 5 bridges that are in critical need across the city. Those locations are Lawson Road at 5 Mile Creek, West Boulevard at First Avenue North, the 5th Avenue North Tunnel at the old terminal train station site, Green Springs Avenue over the CSX rail line, and then 2nd Avenue North at 6th Street North.
Councilor Clark?
I just want to say, I'm really excited about this effort to maintain some of the old infrastructure because, you know, it just gets old and it's nobody's job but ours to take care of it. I was curious about, I feel like I've heard something, but I don't remember, about our plans to address the downtown bridges. I know one is barricaded to restrict heavy vehicles, and then the other one, we're still driving on, but it needed help 20 years ago when I was over capital projects. So I don't know that it's ever been addressed. So what are our plans for those in the grand scheme of things? And then I'm just wondering, our city engineer, do they sit in your shop or in PEP?
Sure. So I'll answer both questions, starting with the downtown bridges. So those two older bridges they're complicated. And so what we need to do is have a real clear understanding of what can be done, what should be done, and the costs of those. So we're undertaking an analysis right now of both bridges, looking at them together, understanding that they function together. So that'll be coming in the future. We haven't quite set up that process yet. In terms of city engineer, so the city engineer is a position within the Department of Capital Projects. In our department, we have a number of engineers on staff. We have a specific engineer who is trained in bridge inspections in our department, who he and his team inspect all of the bridges on an annual basis to keep us apprised of conditions.
Okay.
Right, and on those types of bridges that are, you know, have a score that is subpar, we conduct more frequent inspections.
That's correct. Trying to remember, I know that we have to inspect each bridge annually, and I think it's quarterly, depending on the score, if it goes below a certain threshold.
Okay. Any additional questions? All right.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
All right, that item is approved.
Item 14 should be next. A resolution amending resolution number 15-24, adopted by the council October the 1st, 2024, to correct the description of the locations of road closures in the East Lake neighborhood and to provide publication of notice with the updated locations for the November the 12th, 2024 public hearing to determine whether the closure of certain roads in the East Lake neighborhood on the project Safe Streets, East Lake, initiated pursuant to section 10-2-9 of the General Code of the City of Birmingham, should be continued indefinitely to provide traffic calming measures for the reduction of crime. Motion, please.
Second.
Items before you.
Is there any discussion on this item? All right, seeing none, I believe we're ready for vote.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, that item is approved. Are there any additional items?
That should be it.
All right, this time we'll move to our announcements. Council Woods.
Good morning. Couple things this morning. One, Be Litter Free community cleanups continue this Saturday, October 19th at Calvary Resurrection Christian Church. I want to invite everybody out. Spend a little bit of time and make a big impact in the community. The Sun Valley Neighborhood Association will meet tonight at 6:30 p.m. That meeting is at the East Pinson Valley Rec Center. Also, there are 3 vacancies on the Private Educational Building Authority Board. I want to ask anybody interested to submit your resume and cover letter to clinton.woods@birminghamal.gov no later than October 30th. Again, that's 3 vacancies on the Private Educational Building Authority Board. Also want to shout out all the District 1 dads. Last week we had Donuts with Dads. I think we hear a lot of talk in the community about young people and parents, and specifically fathers participating. I think it was very encouraging to see. We had over, between Sun Valley Elementary and Huffman Academy, had over 500 dads come out just to spend a little bit of time, eat donuts, and really have opportunity to just pour into fathers here in the community. And so the schools were really excited to kind of get connected, invite fathers to kind of participate in their regular going-ons. And so we were excited to see that. And so want to just shout out all the fathers who plugged in, and just want to encourage everybody to continue plugging and continue working to build community from every angle. And then also want to invite everybody out to our Safe Summer Series. Myself, along with Counselor Moore, have come together once a year for the past, this will be the third year, for a one-night only District 14 Safe Summer Series celebration. And so I want to invite everybody out this year and have a good time. We'll be at Huffman High School. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Woods. Councilor Tate?
He got a top 9. Thank you, Mr. President. East Thomas Neighborhood meeting will be held tonight. It's gonna be on Zoom. The meeting ID is 776-982-37070, passcode 666718. Evergreen Neighborhood meeting will be held tonight, October the 15th at 5 p.m. at the Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church. South Pratt Neighborhood meeting will be held tonight, also at 6 p.m. at Lively Hope Baptist Church. Smithfield Estates Neighborhood meeting will also be held tonight at 6 p.m. at the Daniel Payne Plaza. Inslee Neighborhood meeting will be on Thursday, October the 17th, and that's on at 6 p.m. at the Inslee Recreation Center. And the next public safety meeting will be held on Tuesday, October the 22nd at 1 p.m. Please submit agenda items by Wednesday, October the 16th, no later than 12 noon to the following recipients: Patrice.Collins at BirminghamAL.gov and Gregory.Stanley at BirminghamAL.gov. Also, we had a great event on last Friday, 205 in Park. So I hope you guys, Council Woods came out, but it was a very great event, a replication of, if you're a BET fan, it was a replication of 106 in Park, but the kids really hosted. They did a great job. One of the hosts was a young lady by the name of Maya that went to Huffman High School. And then the male host was a young man that went to J.O. Tyler and Sydney and Grizel. So they were J.O. students, but it was very good. And also, I want to make this announcement. I do see Eric Hall in the audience. You can reach out to Dr. Nadia Richardson, the Black Women's Mental Health Institute. They do free counseling in District 9. So reach out to her and her team. So just want to plug you on that information. And then if you provide me with an email address, we'll send you, some updates, things that are going on at D9. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Councilor Tate. Councilor Williams?
Thank you, Mr. President. Brown Springs Neighborhood meeting will be by conference call on October the 17th at 6:30. There are 2 board vacancies on the Industrial Development Board, and all interested applicants need to email their resumes to India Bailey at india.bailey@birminghamal.gov. If you could do this by Monday, October the 28th, we would appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Pro Tem Alexander?
Thank you, Mr. President. These are announcements for District 7. Today, there's bulk trash and brush pickup that's scheduled for Germania Park North. Thursday, October 17th, the Hillman and Hillman Park neighborhood associations will meet. They have a joint meeting at 5 p.m. at Hillman Station. Bulk trash and brush pickup is scheduled for Raleigh on that date. That's Thursday. Friday, October 18th, bulk trash and brush pickup is scheduled for Green Acres. On Monday, October 21st, we have the similar pickups are scheduled for West Goldwire, Tarpley City, Industrial Center, and Garden Highlands. And that ends my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilor Abbott?
Thank you, Mr. President. The next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, tomorrow's not October 23rd. I'll have to check that out. But the big important thing is that the zoning advisory committee is having a meeting tonight at 6 o'clock. It is to discuss the third iteration of the short-term rental ordinance with some new proposals in it. It is a public hearing, so all the members of the public who've attended all the other public hearings can come back and attend this one. But I think it is very important for people to pay attention to what the residents have to say, because they have a lot to say. Tonight, also at 6 o'clock, the 5 Points Neighborhood Meeting is at Highlands United Methodist Church in 5 Points South, and I know that I talked to the president, and he said probably people will want to come to the short-term rental ordinance, so they just have, meetings, so they will just conduct their business quickly and move on. If you have any concerns or issues about things going on in the city of Birmingham that you think need to be fixed, please call 311 or download the My BHAM 311 app so you can attach photos.
So are those photos being uploaded into the My 311 app, Counselor? Do you know?
Well, no, because 311 isn't for police.
No.
There's the police aren't in the categories you can choose to complain about.
Right. What I'm noting is if you're uploading them into the app, then we can make sure that the police are coordinating with them on specific cases. So right now, I don't know that there's something that goes directly to them, but typically when we loop them in, they coordinate with 311, community development, and code enforcement.
So could we have a category? You have to go down and pick a category, and the police department is not one of the categories. Could we add a category for the police for photos?
So I think because it's a code enforcement issue, that's the challenge. But we'll walk it out with the city attorney's office and with BPD to make sure that that's the most practical approach. I can see why the request, but we also want to make sure that there's a follow-up that you're looking for. Because I get it. What you're asking for is, can it go to them, because they're the ones that will either be coming out or writing the ticket, or so. Let us do the follow-up on that just to make sure that practically it works. We'll check on that.
And the concern of the residents who send the photos is it takes so long for the police to get there. For instance, front yard parking, people parking on the sidewalks, people doing, digging up the sidewalks. They want to take a picture and send it to the police so they can see that it's for real, so that when they show up and there's not anything, they won't think, oh, well, these people are crazy. Because the residents see it and they want action immediately, and they never get it.
So the mayor has been pretty explicit on that a part of what he wants to protect is the bandwidth of BPD on the non-emergency items. So if there's a click area for BPD, the expectation may be on some of those non-emergency items that they will. So we probably need to determine which items does BPD need the visibility on, so that there's not the expectation that they'll come out, because on some of it should be code enforcement or parking enforcement. So we'll coordinate and follow up. I hear you hard on it. We'll follow up on that.
Well, if we can get parking enforcement in our neighborhoods, we will be golden. But right now, that doesn't happen.
Yes, ma'am.
We're dependent on the police, and when people park on sidewalks, nobody can get by that's handicapped or that has a stroller, or, there's just nowhere to go. So people get excited, as you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That's all for me.
All right, thank you. Councilor Clark?
Just trying to get JT's before the phone dies. Okay. District 4 announcements in my colleague's absence. The Woodlawn Street Market will take place this coming Saturday, and neighborhood meetings in District 4 include the Pine Knoll Vista neighborhood that's meeting this Thursday at 6:30 via Zoom, and the East Birmingham neighborhood that's meeting on Monday at the Shields Center at 6 p.m., and the Kingston neighborhood that also meets next Monday at the Royal Event Center at 6 p.m. Please note that the Community Development Committee will meet in the council chambers this afternoon. Today at 2 p.m. And then the Parks and Recreation Board will meet tomorrow at Legion Field at 9 a.m. in their boardroom. And that concludes the District 4 announcements. For District 8, want to thank the administration for beginning work on the 5th Street ditch in the Tuxedo neighborhood. That's a long-awaited project that we're really excited to have that creek bank stabilization underway. So thanks and keep it coming. Neighborhood meetings in District 8 include, this week is just the Graymont neighborhood. They will meet tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 in the Smithfield Library. This is the last week to see Joe Mentor is Here, the groundbreaking exhibition featuring our very own artistic, expressive treasure, Mr. Joe Mentor, who doesn't always make his neighbors happy, but he's got 20 to 30 pieces of his work on exhibit in North Titusville at the Mark Steele Building. And it's really great to see it outside of its normal environment because it's spaced so that you can actually interpret it and see his amazing gift. So it's housed inside of Mark Steele. The gallery hours are Thursdays through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So it will close on October 20th. The cultural arms, this is something you need to know. The cultural arm of the Armed Forces of Ukraine has brought together active servicemen and volunteers of artistic and creative trades. These professional artists before the war have been active duty soldiers and frontline volunteers, and they're presenting a wide variety of music from Ukrainian and world classics that cover popular hits and country tunes. Most of these artists fought in some of the fiercest battles of the war, and after recovering from their injuries, they got back to playing and touring the U.S. as a show of thanks for our support. These artist soldiers are performing 2 free concerts today. The first one is at 2 p.m. at East Village Arts in Eastlake, and the other is at 7 p.m. this evening at Unity Church on Highland Avenue. That's located at 2803 Highland Avenue. And if you're looking for a fun way to get active and meet your neighbors, you can join us every Thursday morning, weather permitting, for a little walk around the Crossplex. We meet at 8 a.m. and enjoy a stroll and get active. So, this is the week before Magic City Classic Week, which is kind of like our version of Mardi Gras. But anyway, I just want to wish everyone a safe and happy and fun-filled Magic City Classic Week. That concludes my remarks.
All right, thank you, Councilor Smitherman.
Thank you, Mr. President. As far as neighborhood meetings, we have the West End Manor Neighborhood Association meeting today at 5 p.m. at New Hope Baptist Church. As Councilor Abbott mentioned, we have 5 Point South Neighborhood meeting tonight at 6. The next Budget and Finance meeting will be on Monday, October 28th at 3:30 p.m. in the council chambers. Submissions are due next Wednesday by noon. Submissions received after noon will be placed on the next Budget and Finance agenda. We will be having an expungement clinic this Friday from 9 to 4 at 6th Avenue Baptist Church. We are partnering with the Volunteer Lawyers of Birmingham, Magic City Bar, and B. Sherm. As Councilor Clark mentioned about Joe Mentor, they are actually having a cultural heritage panel, which has community members and leaders on there. It should be really cool. At Mark Steele, that's this Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Davenport and Harris Funeral Home will have their 125th anniversary gala. That will be this Friday at 6 to 8 p.m. We will be hosting a community meeting this Thursday from 5 to 6 with the Mason City residents. This will be at First Baptist Church of Mason City. New Hope Baptist Church will have a community fair giveaway, voter registration, etc. CPR training, job fair, food. That will be on their church grounds from 10 to 1. Then there's a 2024 Stop the Violence Walk and Summit that will be held this Saturday as well from 9 to 12, located at 6th Avenue Baptist Church. And then Safe Summer Concert Series. I don't know if Council Woods mentioned it. They're having theirs, Council Moore and Council Woods, this Sunday at Huffman High School is it 4 o'clock, Council Woods, or 4:30? Well, probably will tell people to come at 3. And then, and then I'll be having my Safe Summer concert the day after Classic with Pastor Mike Jr. So it's Sunday, October 27th at 5 at Royal Park. And then for the Chiefs, panhandling on Green Springs Avenue. I need some help. In fact, you all, my mother was having a fuss because there was a little boy panhandling. Yeah, he had a sign. I don't know what the sign said. I couldn't see it. And I actually saw afterwards him counting money with the other grown man that was with him. So there's a huge problem with panhandling on Green Springs.
So, Mr. President, yes, Madam, Councilor Smitherman, so our team is actually working with ALDOT because a lot of that is state property.
Yeah, okay,
They're
good.
coordinating with both ALDOT, our Birmingham Department of Transportation, and BPD. So we got you.
Okay.
We're on it.
Yes, thank you. Because I saw one panhandler, he was sitting on the curb and his feet were in the street, which means that somebody had, run over his feet. They would try to, sue them or anything. So I just want to make sure we stay on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Tate?
Announcement, Mr. President. The New Beginnings United Methodist Church located at 2133 2nd Avenue North under the leadership of Pastor John Baldwin is holding their Family Fun Day this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So they're going to have fun activities, fellowship, community resources, candy, and a food giveaway. So please stop by if you live in North Birmingham or just in District 9, stop by and fellowship with Pastor John Baldwin and the New Beginnings United Methodist Church. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, I forgot one more thing. I want to tell y'all, if y'all have time to stop by, the Penny Foundation is hosting the Southern Scholars Debate Classic, and there'll be Howard versus Stanford. And so that'll be this Friday from 10 to 12 at 6th Avenue Baptist Church. So I thought that was pretty cool to have Howard University to come. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Councilor Abbott, I'll look forward to seeing you and spending my evening with you at the ZAC public hearing tonight. I think I'm going to get dinner this time beforehand rather than waiting till 10 p.m. at night.
And I've got a whole stack of green pens for tonight. So.
All right, yeah. If it trends the same as the others, it'll be quite extensive public comment. So, again, I recommend getting dinner ahead of time if you're planning on attending that. The Central City Neighborhood Association will meet tonight at 6 p.m. at the Birmingham Central Library. The Southside Neighborhood Association will meet on Thursday at 6 p.m. at the South Precinct. North Avondale Neighborhood Association will also meet on Thursday at 6 p.m. at the MLK Rec Center. Want to let business owners know that the City of Birmingham's facade improvement program is now accepting applications. The facade improvement program is designed for businesses to apply for assistance to improve the appearance of their building. More information can be found at www.cobcd.com/facade. I also wanted to let you know about Berta Health. Last week I attended the launch of Berta Health here in the city of Birmingham. Verta Health is a health navigation service available to City of Birmingham employees through a combination of personalized nutrition, technology, and expert support. Verta empowers members to build longer, healthier lives, in some cases, reducing or eliminating the need for medications. Another way of saying that is we have a high incidence of obesity and diabetes, type 2 diabetes in our community, and Verta is a service that provides nutrition counseling to help people balance their diet and exercise such that they can get away from the use of medications and treating those conditions. So we had some powerful testimony from folks that were present at the event. And so this is a new benefit that's available to City of Birmingham employees. Just wanted to raise awareness about that, that's available to City of Birmingham employees as a benefit. And lastly, we have one farmers market still operating. Pepper Place runs through December 14th. It happens every Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon at Pepper Place, rain or shine. And that concludes my announcements.
Mr. President, before we
Councilor Abbott.
I announced that October 23rd was the next planning and zoning meeting, but I said tomorrow. Tomorrow is not the 23rd, but we do have a meeting on the 23rd. So I just wanted to confirm that so that we don't have a meeting with nobody there because I got it wrong. So thank you.
Okay, got it. Mr. Clerk, we're ready for our public speakers.
Travis Dean White,
They're good, Mr. Clerk.
Willie Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins.
City Council, Willie Jenkins here. I'd like to, good morning.
Mr. Jenkins, pull the mic down.
I'd like to announce that, Men of Praise will be at, Galilee Baptist Church, October 19th at 3 p.m. We'd like to invite y'all to come. We had a nice reunion, Carver High School reunion. We had a lot of people there and turn out real nice. And also, we're going to have a banquet. We'll let y'all know about the banquet. But Reverend Harold Bass, with Olivet Monument, we'll be having this anniversary banquet this coming Saturday at Galilee, not Galilee, at the, what the name that, I can't think of the name of that place they're going to have it at the Harvest Center, this coming Saturday. He having his banquet, celebrate his anniversary. Also, Women's Day was yesterday. We had a nice Women's Day, Oak Street Baptist Church. And also, I want y'all to pray for Miss Horton, Reverend Horton, mother passed. And also Alberta Wright. She went to school, Carver School, graduated with me in 1973. Ask y'all to pray for her. The funeral gonna be this coming Saturday. And at Oak Street Baptist Church, my church, she went to school with us in 1973. And also, one of that shout out, my prayers go out to the family, both of the family. Reverend Horton lost his mother, and also Alberta Wright. Like I said, we had a nice reunion, and come out real nice, and a lot of people were there, and a lot of people was at the. We had a nice crowd. Class. Some of them wasn't there, one of them wasn't make it, but we had a nice class reunion, big reunion, Carver High School, 1973. And also, I'd like to announce that in all the class of 1973, please come to Alberta Wright Film. Gonna be this coming Saturday at 12 o'clock. And we'd like to see all the former graduates of 1973 of Carver High School to come to attend the film this coming Saturday. This is Willie Jenkins from Carver High School, graduated in 1973 of Carver. We want to show our respect for the film this coming Saturday for all the people graduate from Carver High School. We'd like to come out to the celebration, homegoing, Alberta Wright should read. And Delport Harris got his body, and also Reverend Horton Miss Horton, Mama, will be at the Master Baptist Church this Saturday. That's, pray for those two families.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Next speaker, please.
Good morning to this great city in which I live, to the mayor's office and all the leadership that is in this city. The first thing I would like to ask, if you can relax this 3-minute rule deal. I only come because God has sent me here. And it maybe can change your heart and a mind and even change your life if you would do that. When we fight for justice, injustice will continue to raise his ugly head. So therefore, we cannot be silent on justice, or it would happen to be that we would be very ineffective in giving out justice. The only reason that I'm here is to support young leadership. If you got your mind on anything else, if you got your mind on something dark, you won't find it out of me, because I live in the light and I do not represent darkness. We live in a city that was founded in 1871, over 150 years ago. And over 100 of those years were injustice toward the people. And because of the fight for justice is why we're here today. And I'm not really speaking to you. I'm speaking to those who I have to hear speak negatively about young leadership in the city that I love. For 35 years, anybody know me, I have a right to say what I'm saying, because my MO said that I can. This is what I don't want those who are listening right now, and especially our mayor, do not take full responsibility of the murders in this city at all. None of you young leadership. The truth of the matter is that there is a spiritual component to this. The first child after sin from Adam and Eve, Cain, was a murderer. And a seed can only produce what a seed is going to produce. What we are experiencing here is this. What's so unjust about it all is that those who have benefited from the fight for justice, especially for black people, and to hear my generation, one of the most selfish generations known to our people, talk about this young leadership, it blows my mind. What we should do is support our young leadership, because this is what we have left to our leadership to fight. Can I share something with you? I was sitting out in a city, I like drinking hot tea. I don't know if I was in New York, Philadelphia, Washington, whatever. The experience blew my mind, so I forgot the city. I was sitting out drinking and just my tea, and I saw a lady rush past me and go snatch up a child so vigorously. And it seemed to be that something really, really made them want a bad person. And this is how people were whispering about it. Even I had that thought. Well, come to find out, what happened was, we didn't see that car coming. She saw that car coming. It wasn't her child, so she snatched that child up, that child wouldn't lose his life. Well, generations as mine and before me has sat back and let this happen to our young people. They saw the car coming. Jesse Jackson saw the car coming. Al Sharpton saw the car coming. But they did nothing to stop that car from destroying our children. And I'm not going to let these hypocrites from the pulpit on down beat up my city, beat up this young leadership for something they did not do. Now, what we have to do is deal with the spiritual component. To every human action, there's a spirit that controls it. I understand from y'all point of view, y'all have to deal with the tangible. And it takes man of God like me to help deal with the intangible, the spiritual nature of it. Well, the truth of the matter is my 35 years of research and fighting this same issue. When you hear a child say, Dr. Murphy, listen, I don't care about dying young. What should I live for? I might as well die while I'm having fun, while I'm young. Because see, what you don't know is, you didn't see my mama have sex with 3 different men just to get a hit of crack or to put food on the table. See, these kids got a real story behind this. And we don't see the real story that controls the spiritual nature of their actions. But we together can. This is not a put down on this city. This is not a put down on your leadership. It's because of those who fight that have this great form of leadership. There never in the history of Birmingham, Alabama, have we had this great a leadership, from the mayor to the council to the legal office. We have not had it. And I don't want y'all to take full responsibility for what y'all have to deal with because of my sorriness. I have to include myself in the generation. Do you hear me? I want y'all to continue to love one another, especially those who can come and beat up our mayor that look just like him in other positions of politics as though it's his fault. They don't care if he just got married. He don't care if he got a little baby. We don't care about anything anymore. How we beat up on one another, especially as black people. And I stand on your team. Do not take full responsibility of this. It is all of our responsibility to change the spiritual nature of our children. May God bless you. May God keep you, is my prayer.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. All right. That brings us to the end of our public speakers. I want to thank our officers on duty. Officer Pinkard is with us from here in City Hall. We also have Officer Jones and Officer Martinez. Officer Jones based in West Precinct and Martinez is in East. Thank you, as always, for watching over us and keeping us safe. All right, all in favor say aye. 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 Being adjourned, thank you.
So one of the things that I noticed once I got on the council is how many people actually had housing issues and that needed severe critical repair to some of the issues that they were dealing with in their home. And so I was grateful that, I was able to have $500,000 to be able to put towards critical housing repair in my district. I wasn't really sure who that money would go to because it had to go through community development. People had to sign up to be selected for that program, but was very thankful at the fact that, our office was able to put that money to good use. And so being able to walk through Ms. Kirkland's home, hear some of the issues that she's had, and hear how this money was able to really help her home you can't put a dollar amount on that.
Councilman J.T. Moore jumped at the opportunity and gave us a pretty large allotment to be able to really increase his footprint in his district and just to be able to provide more of a quality of life, sustainable homes, weatherization, things of that nature in his district. And so through the funding that we were able to receive from Councilman Moore's office, we were able to implement a plethora of critical repairs, from painting the entire exterior of the home, just kind of changing its look overall, putting a sump pump in the basement. We also created a concrete slab on the side of her home that works in conjunction with the ventilation to divert the water from the basement, which I think is really cool. It's always a really good experience when you see the effect that the changes have on the homeowner. But in addition to that, just the way that Councilman Moore is so adamant about being able to reach out and meet the homeowners, meet his constituents, and put boots on the ground to see the work that we're doing and to just get the perspective from the homeowner's point of view, I think that's amazing. So although the work that we do is important, the people whose lives we're able to change is a lot more important.
It's always a beautiful moment for me when I'm able to actually see the resources that I'm providing for a certain initiative or project and the impact that it's able to make on the recipients. Somebody like Ms. Kirkland who, you know, didn't even know who I was, but was able to receive these dollars to be able to improve her home and improve the quality of life. You can't put a dollar amount on that. But it is beautiful to see when it all comes together and the impact that it makes on the lives of the people that you serve.
So we're at Rickwood at the second annual Blues in the Ballpark. We've had a blast. It's just a good time. It's a grown folks party and we're just enjoying just some good, you know, roots music.
We had Major League Baseball here, so y'all are visiting America's oldest baseball park. But we have America's newest baseball field, and I look out there and you see all that green grass. It's something that Birmingham has. It's very special. And again, Carol Clark and her friends on the city council and the mayor and the staff have been very, very critical in making all this happen. And I just want to thank all of you for coming, and let's have a good time, and let's hope we do it again next year.
Well, I'm really blessed to have blues divas, really accomplished blues artists in District 8, and this is a great opportunity to showcase their talent, but also blues is an original indigenous music form, American music form that's really born out of a lot of suffering, but it's about transcendence. We all have difficulty, but if you can sing about it, then you've just overcome your troubles.
About District 8 right now and this whole blues scene that they got going on. Like, look, they cut up. This is a good time.
Do you like the music?
Yeah!
Is it good?
Yeah!
Okay, so you'll come back next year and tell friends, okay?
We've had some wonderful entertainment and we're just having a great time.
You know what I'm talking about. Roll me, baby. Roll me, baby. Like mama used to roll that flower dough. Roll me, baby. Roll me, baby. I want you to roll me, baby. Till I don't want no more.
What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about
205 in Park. It is a replication of 106 in Park, a television show that used to be on the BET network. So today was a day to let the kids lead the conversation and tell leaders what it is that they need and what they want.
Welcome to the first Get It Off Your Chest panel discussion. Coming right out of the gate, I got a question for District Attorney Carr and Mayor Woodfin.
I think they should actually listen to us because sometimes people or teachers or adults, they'll think we're not going through what we're going through.
So this is a question for both of you.
How important is mental health, counseling, healing to our communities and to their families?
So today was a day to engage the students and let the students lead the conversation. It was just super important for me to really elevate their voices and center them, in these tough conversations. Exactly. And so what I took away from this is I really listened, really taking back some keen ideas to really shape some good policy, embracing them in what they want to see when it comes to safety and a resilient community. This is a great experience. It's really focusing on making sure that we center community and making sure we're hearing community to shape any type of community safety, because it's going to take all of us as a collective to shape any type of safety that we're looking for. And just taking this back to my colleagues, just telling them, hey, I had an opportunity to listen to the young folks, and this is what they're saying.
Yeah. I should have flexed the whole. Councilor Tate, so tell us, how was this event for you?
This event was over the top, amazing. You guys did a wonderful job.
So currently we are here in Woodlawn, the Woodlawn neighborhood, for the annual Woodlawn Sunday Dinner. I gotta say, I've been able to be a part of this since the beginning, and to just see the growth of this event has it's just been beautiful.
But most importantly, I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of our amazing community, for pushing us to the next level, for always being supportive, but most importantly, holding us accountable to make sure we do the right things by our community.
We got people from all walks of life that come out here just to enjoy, number one, community, and number two, some really, really good food. We got, all of our neighborhood association officers. We got folks from the corporate community. We got folks from nonprofit. We got Sherry Brown out here, performing. We just got a star-studded event, man. It's really beautiful. I'm rambling because I ain't had no food, but it's a beautiful time. And I'm just so glad that, myself and Daryl O'Quinn, Councilor O'Quinn, were able to, sponsor or support this event, as did so many other sponsors. Mashonda Taylor over at Woodlawn United is doing an awesome job creating events that bring out the community and really build that connectivity that we need. We need to see more events like this all throughout our city. So kudos to Woodlawn United, kudos to everybody that showed up, and hope to see you at the next Woodlawn Sunday Dinner.